Okay, guys, so as I was responding to some comments on the previous videos, which I am always appreciative of people taking the time out to not only leave feedback, but their thoughts, the ACE, the advice, the comments, experiences. So thank you so much. And on one of them, the topic had kind of gotten to generational wealth. And I think when we think generational wealth, the immediate thought is money. And that's where I used to always go. Generational wealth, generational wealth. Gotta leave your kids things. And then it kind of changed a little bit where in the piece about moments over money. And it doesn't mean you have to leave your kids with nothing as far as a um, financial bequeathing, I guess, if that's the word. But you don't want to just leave them money with no memories is kind of where I'm thinking right now. I would rather have the experiences that I had, like with my father when he passed. We really got nothing, and I say that in a financial sense, but what we got from him was a legacy of stories that we will always be able to talk about, things that we can take pride in for who he was. And that in itself is a generational wealth because it's allowed me to become a father in that sense, to take what he had done and not duplicate what he had done. I can't do what my dad did. I'm not my father's father. It's a different day and age and everything. But what I can do is take a lot of what I enjoyed and appreciated and do that in the best way that I can for my children. And I can also take the things that I didn't enjoy and try to improve upon that so my children don't go through some of the things that I went through. Generational wealth is a teaching. It's not just a package that a lawyer will sign papers for you to now take over a property or receive a check or things like that. The generational wealth, if we talk about our wealth is our health, and I believe that health should be a total package of mind, body, and soul. Then our generational wealth is our health of mind, body, and soul, which means we leave our children with positive experiences as far as how we interact emotionally, what marks we leave psychologically as far as support. And we're not always going to get it right, but we certainly can do better than what we have been doing on a lot of levels. All parents can find places to improve. It's just because we're human. We can all find places to improve just for ourselves and for those around us. So it's no judgment. But if it's mind, body, and soul, that's where we can go. And so the physical would be, how are we interacting with them on a physical level? And I don't just mean for myself. If those of you who know that working out is a huge part of my life, and it's what I've raised my children in as well. But when I'm talking about the physical, I'm talking about the hugs, the kisses, that sort of interaction, the human interaction, the touch. It's so important. So how are we interacting, and what are we doing to cultivate mind, body, and soul, total health? That's going to be the generational wealth, because money can come. Somebody could win the Powerball, but if they have just been morally bankrupt, it's not going to change who they are. It's going to change their circumstance, but um, it only turns up the volume on who you are. It's like alcohol. Whoever you are will be unmasked when you have more of money or alcohol. So we want to make sure that we aren't just leaving hollow people with large amounts of money or any amounts of money, because it's not going to benefit them. Leave them with less money and more enriching experiences to be able to say, I was raised right, or at least I know better. Even when they're not doing better, we all have been there. We weren't doing the best that we were supposed to be doing, but we still took it upon ourselves at some point to get it together. And that's the important part about just life in general. What are we leaving? So generational wealth is an extremely important thing, but we have to put it in proper perspective to say that generational wealth is not just a financial endeavor. As a matter of fact, I would make a case to say it's the least important of what you're going to leave your children. Leave them with memories. Again, there is a piece, memories over money, where I spoke to that the same sort of thing, and I'd I'd like to know what you guys think, because the way I see it, we don't we shouldn't put the pressure on ourselves to make boatloads of money when the interaction with our children is something free. It's something that we can just generate within ourselves. We don't have to go out into the world and get educated on certain topics in order to um, command a higher salary, in order to work harder, to earn more. And in that trapping in itself, that's where a lot of kids are losing time with their parents, because their parents are working so hard to try to just make generational wealth a money issue rather than spending time with them, real quality time. And to do that, it doesn't take anything, because there have been people from the most uneducated and illiterate who loved their children and spent time with them, educating them on what they knew how: farming, ditch digging, getting well water, hunting, fishing, cooking, you name it, across time. And then there have been extremely brilliant people who have done the same, who realize that they have a gift and they have the ability to earn lots of money, but it was more important for them to spend time with their children. And that's an important part. That's an important key, in my estimation. So I'm not going to go on too long. I feel like I have more talking points, but I also don't want to ramble on. I was told that I was rambling on one piece by a listener. I'm going to be mindful of that, to not drag you guys into like 10, 11, 12 minute segments. But let me know what you think. Leave your ace up the sleeve, advice, comment, experience. And again, like we were talking about, I hope this finds everybody in a place or pursuit of total health, mind, body, and soul. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.